Nearly 4,000 meters beneath the North Atlantic, there lies a silent grave of steel. Once it was the greatest ship ever built, a masterpiece of the early 20th century that was never meant to sink. Over 100 years ago, it was not a forgotten wreck, but a symbol of luxury and ambition, a masterpiece people believed could never be defeated. Yet in a single fateful night, everything vanished, leaving behind a haunting memory that would never fade. Titanic, the largest ship in the world then, was seen as the peak of human engineering and ambition. With its size and advanced design, it was believed nearly impossible to defeat by any force of the vast ocean. Inside, everything is designed like a luxury hotel, from the corridors and grand staircases to the elegant dining rooms. The Titanic was built by thousands of workers over many years, using millions of parts and hundreds of tons of steel. Every detail was meticulously crafted, from its massive structure to its complex systems, creating a unique ship in the world, a true symbol of human ambition and the advanced engineering of its time. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic departed Southampton for its fateful first transatlantic voyage. Carrying over 2,000 passengers and crew, it was a journey filled with hope, excitement, and confidence, as most believed they were on board the safest ship ever built, heading towards the promised land, a new world. Under the gentle daylight, the Titanic glided silently across the ocean, its massive hull bobbing on the waves. Seen from above, it exuded an air of serenity, carrying with it hopes for a safe and bright journey. Under the gentle daylight, the Titanic glided silently across the ocean, its massive hull bobbing on the waves. Seen from above, it exuded an air of serenity, carrying with it hopes for a safe and bright journey. Inside the Grand Hall, people were enjoying coffee and chatting comfortably in a quiet and elegant setting. In the dining room, everyone enjoyed delicious food to the sound of music. Laughter and melodious tunes created an elegant atmosphere, where every moment was warm, refined, and completely separate from the vast ocean outside. As night falls, the ship seems to transform into two separate worlds. Above, twinkling lights illuminate a warm and sophisticated life, a place overflowing with comfort and luxury. But somewhere deep beneath the ship's deck, underground, the workers continuously shovel coal into the blazing furnaces, where the temperature and heat are almost unbearable. Sweat, smoke, and exhaustion engulf them, but they work tirelessly to keep the train moving throughout its journey. In the engine room, engineers stood amidst the colossal machines, monitoring every movement with intense concentration. The incessant clanging of metal kept the ship's heart beating steadily throughout its journey through the night. Inside the bridge, everything continued as usual as the ship moved steadily through the night, with officers quietly watching the course ahead. As dawn broke, Titanic sailed across the calm ocean, carrying confidence and a sense of safety. As night returned, the ship moved forward in silence, and somewhere, a feeling of unease began to appear. On the night of April 14, 1912, the ocean was very calm and still. The water looked like a dark mirror, with no waves and no wind. Everything was quiet and peaceful, but at the same time it felt strange, cold, and a little unsettling. In the distance, something slowly appeared in the darkness. At first it was hard to see, just a faint shape against the night. But as the ship moved closer, it became clearer. A massive iceberg, silent and unmoving, directly in its path. On the bridge, the officers suddenly realized what was ahead. Commands were given quickly, trying to change course. But it was too late. The ship brushed along the side of the iceberg, a long, quiet impact that seemed small, yet would change everything. At first, the water was barely noticeable, slowly spreading across the floor of the lower decks. It moved quietly, almost invisible. Then more water began to rush in, flowing stronger and faster. Soon it poured down from upper levels, spilling over staircases, rising quickly and turning the silence into a growing, unstoppable force. Passengers began to panic as water flooded the passenger compartments, fear quickly replacing confusion. Water flooded into the engine room, forcing engineers to struggle in a desperate attempt to keep things running. On the bridge, the officers realized the severity of the situation as urgent commands were given, but it was already too late to stop what had begun. Passengers rushed toward the deck in fear as the situation grew worse. People calling out to each other, trying to find their families in the growing chaos. Orders were quickly given to evacuate, with women and children sent first, as crew members tried to control the crowd. Lifeboats were lowered into the dark ocean as people climbed in one by one, hoping to escape what was about to come. Voices shouted, chaos filled the air, as the once calm journey turned into a desperate struggle for survival. Panic spread across the deck as the ship began to tilt, people rushing in fear while lifeboats were lowered into the dark ocean. From their lifeboats, they watched from afar as the ship slowly tilted in the darkness and sank into the cold ocean. The noise faded behind them, giving way to silence as they realized there was no other way but to drift further and further away. In the end, the ship could no longer hold itself together. The lights flickered, then went out, as Titanic slowly disappeared beneath the dark ocean, leaving only silence and a few lifeboats drifting in the cold night. As the Titanic's last lights faded, it carried an entire world into the depths of the ocean. The most anticipated transatlantic voyage in history ended after just 4 days, 17 hours, and 30 minutes. Of the 2,224 people on board, only 710 saw the sunrise the following day. 1,514 souls, along with the vast fortunes they carried, were forever lost to the sea. But the greatest loss wasn't the gold and silver, but the unfulfilled dreams of over 1,000 people. After that night, the ocean returned to its primal silence. No more lights, no more sound. Only darkness remains, and an infinite cold. And nearly 4,000 meters below, Titanic lies there, in eternal darkness. According to scientists, metal-eating bacteria are destroying the ship day by day, a process that is slow but irreversible, and in just 30 to 50 years, this maritime masterpiece of the early 20th century may disappear forever. But Titanic left behind more than just a wreck, it left a question. Today we look back at the Titanic, not to count the losses, not to tally what sank with the ship, but to understand what truly happened. If only there were more lifeboats. If only the warnings had been heeded. If only we had been more cautious. But history does not know the words, if only. The Titanic did not sink just because of an iceberg, but because of human overconfidence, ignored warnings, and the belief that man could control nature. The ship may fade away, but the lesson it left behind will endure until humanity learns to be humble before the greatness of the ocean.